So welcome everyone. Let's start joining as we go live in today's interesting section. So let's start joining everyone as we go live in today's section. Let's start joining. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. So today we're talking about singularities. We're talking about we're just analyzing this token. This token we're going to be analyzing it today, trying to get what the token means. We're using Gate.io to actually analyze this token that we're actually talking about in today's conversation. So if you're just joining us for the first time, you're welcome. You're welcome to today's interesting conversation as we go live into this conversation. So please, you can kindly just follow us on our profile if you're just joining us for the first time as we go live in today's conversation. If you have any question whatsoever, you can ask on the chat box so that justice can be done. So that we can do justice to it as we go live in today's discussion. So welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to today's interest. Welcome everyone to today's interesting conversation. Welcome everyone to today's interesting conversation. So, now what is our analysis? Well, let me just give a little bit of rundown of analysis concerning this project before I move ahead to give more detailed explanation about what this project is about. What is it really all about? Well, it currently is trading at 0.2. 0.2, that is what is trading at. Well, we saw that this singularities net is a world leading decentralized AI marketplace that runs on the blockchain, and apart from it run on the blockchain, and is evangelized the AI technology is access and use. So what can you understand by this? It's a AI blockchain, it's a AI marketplace where you can go and buy, you can go and purchase different things that has to do with AI and other. Now, the blockchain, our platform is actually powered by the blockchain. The AI that is actually powered by the blockchain, ensuring fair distribution of power, value, and technology for all leading decentralized markets. So it actually puts itself as a forefront to actually enable all form of transactions that is going on that will actually happen in the ecosystem. Now, based on this diagram right now, you can see it based on this. Now let's check the analysis, get to the basic analysis of this project, of this token. Now you can see how it is here. You can see this scape here. It came down. Has it gone? What has been the lowest it has gone to? Now you can see it here. It came down. It came down. It came here. It ranges here. It came back up. It came down here and all that. You can see the market space there. It had a drastic down. I think this was around last week that this happened. And ever since, the market has just been ranging, and been ranging. So far right now, it's trying to go up. It's still likely going to come down it might before it's push ups again. It all depends on the market space, what the market is actually saying and all that. So all these are actually basic analysis that we need to know when talking about all those tokens and all that. I believe you guys are following me and getting what we're actually looking at in today's conversation. So please and please, along the way of this today's conversation, if you have any question whatsoever, if you need any clarification, whatsoever, you can kindly ask on the chat box so that justice can be done as we move ahead in this discussion today. If you have any question whatsoever, if you need any clarification, you can kindly just move ahead as you can kindly just ask on the chat box so that justice will be done as we move ahead in the course of today's interesting conversation. So now let's get basic information about what this project is actually, what is it trading on. Now you can see based on here, you can actually see it here is actually what do we have here. Based on what we have here, you can see it here is actually trading volume. The trading volume is around okay, what is the trading volume that we have here? What is the trading volume? Now the trading volume of the singularities net axis is around 56 $66 million or thereabouts in the last 24 hours, representing representing a minus 34.10% decrease from the one ago. And also signing a recent fall in the market space. The highest price paid for this singularities and nets is around the highest market that's actually gone to is around 0.9. The highest that's actually gone to is actually 0.9, and right now it's in 0.2. And the highest it has gone to in the market space is around 0.9. Now which was record around January 28th, January 8, 2018. That's over 5 years ago. So it has actually this token has this coin this AI project actually been over the years for like 30 for like 5 years ago now, and it has actually been and it has actually withstand the storm that actually comes in that came into the market and all that. That is why you can see that up to now it's still ranging at 0.2 and all that. So it's actually, when looking at it, it's actually a good form of investment if you are asking me. If it what is the probability of the market actually pushing up to actually getting the all it like breaking the all-time high volume and other. Well, let's say it depends on the market. And remember what I talked about when talking about market. It's not actually individual that actually predicts the moves of market. They are actually financial institutions. Financial institutions actually predict how the market is going to move, what is actually going to happen in the market, what is the market prediction price and all that. The market is actually has a very big factor to play in the market prediction of how price moves and all that. Now, based on what we have here, based on the analysis we have here, what can we actually what based on this analysis we have here, what can we say? We can see that the highest we can that's why I see that the highest it has actually gone to is around 0.9. 0.95 has actually been the highest it has actually gone to, which has actually record over 28, which was actually record in the around January 28, 2018, over 5 years ago. Now, comprehensively, the market price is around 70% lower than the all-time high, in the market space and all that. So these are actually important points we need to know when talking about the market space, what we need to know about it, and all the basic information we need to know about the market space and all that. So when talking about the market, when talking about what we need to do, the market price, the highest market price is around 0.0. The market price is around 0.9 when talking about it, and it has actually recorded over it was actually recorded in the year 2018. That is around January 28, 2018. Comprehensively, the current market is, when looking at it, the current market of what is actually ranging now is around the current market is around minus, that's actually gone down to around the minus 70, which is around the lowest, which is the lower than the all, which is actually lower than the all-time high. When looking at it on the research, already gotten down over 40%, over 70, minus 70%. Now the lowest price for this the lowest price it has actually gone to, the lowest price when looking at it, has actually gone to 0.000 0.007. Just imagine now. And now it's currently ranging at zero. Now look at it now. This is the lowest it has actually, the lowest this coin has this coin has actually gone to is around 0.00. So it has actually cancelled this 0 to 2 0.00 7. And right now it's just imagine if you buy it around, and that was around March 2020. Now around March 2020, it actually record is the lowest market price. That was around 0.002. And that 3 years ago, if you have bought this coin 3 years ago, just imagine the huge profit. It cancelled 1 0. Do you know what it means for a project to actually cancel 1 0 and also cancel another 0 and get to 2? That means that is a sign that if in 3 years time it actually came down to what happened in the market and got to 0.02. That means there's a future about this coin. This coin is very unique that you can actually look into to invest in. Now, why did I say it's unique? Now, just imagine, let's just do the analysis by ourselves. Now, 5 years ago, it came out in the market as 0.0, 0.9. That was the listed price. That was the price it came out, that was all-time high that it came out from the market. Now, it went down, and because of the market and some other factors that actually controls, that actually moves the market, it actually went, a lot of people sold. Remember, it's all about demand and supply. So a lot of people sold and actually went down. The market actually brought it down to around 0.007. Now, 3 years later, now 3 years, about 3 years, now it came back right now, and right now we're in 2020, 2023, and now it's back to 0.2, which is something very, very, that is a sign to tell you that, oh, yes, this project is actually something good. We've not actually looked at the utility, what they've done, what the project is actually really all about, and that we've not actually looked at it, but based on this, you actually say, oh, yes, I can think I can actually look at this coin to actually invest in it and order. Now, comprehensively, the current price is the current price is 3,672.30% higher than the all-time high. Just imagine, the current price is actually higher than the all-time high, all-time low price. So it's actually higher than the all-time low price. Like, just imagine the thousands of millions of naira you would have made if you would have bought this coin 3 years ago. And now the market capitalization of this singularities net is around 3.3 order, and it's actually ranked around one two on coin deco today. It's actually ranked around one. That is why, even though CoinDeco actually rates it high, for it to actually go around that 12112 on CoinDeco. And also, the market cap is measured by multiplying token price by the circulating supply of the AGIX token. Another 1.2 billion token are tradable. 1.2 billion token are kind of tradable on market cap today. So 1.2 billion token are actually tradable on market cap today, which is also another important factor. Now, the one other important thing that we need to know, that the fully diluted evaluation and also the Singularity 8 of this token that we're actually talking about is around, you can see the billion of naira, that we billion of dollars that we can see. And this is a the statistical representation of the maximum market cap. Assuming the maximum number is around 2 billion active token in circulation today, depending on how the emission schedule of this token are designed, and it might take multiple of years before the FBV is realized. Now, the community is bullish, with more than 78% of users are feeling good about this token today. These are what now this is what we need to understand. These are all important points that we, so it's actually bullish with around 70, because if you can look at where the all-time high is and where it actually is, what it went down to around 0.002, and now it's back to 0.007, and it's actually back to 0.02. That means it has actually breaking some. It has actually reduced itself and become, and right now, a lot of investors, a lot of people that actually invest in this token we actually be feeling good about this token and all that. So this is actually a good project to actually look into if you are looking for a project to actually invest in and all that. This is actually a good project that I would likely recommend, that if you are actually looking for ways to actually invest and all that, this is a project that you can likely look into and invest in when looking at projects like this. What are they really all about? So all these are actually basic understanding that we need to know when talking about project like this. What are they really all about? What we need to know about it and all that is very, very important, that we take note of all all this point we're talking about project like this. So now the community is actually this community is actually very bullish, as 78% of users are actually feeling good about this token today, are actually feeling good that they actually waited and they actually purchased this token when looking at it on the real sense and all that. I believe you guys are following me. Please if you have any question whatsoever, you are free to ask on the chat box so that justice can be done as we keep moving ahead in the course of today's conversation. So if you have any question whatsoever, if you need any clarification, you are free to ask on the chat box so that justice can be done as we keep moving ahead in the course of today's conversation. So now, what else do we need to understand? Now, let's check some questions that has to do with this topic. You can see it right here. This is a sign of bullish. Actually, you can see where it was ranging from. Can you guys see my screen? Yeah, you can see where it was ranging from. You can see from here it came down here. This was a lower point this year. So it actually came that it broke this point here. It came up. Now it's pretended as if something this will happen here. Then it pushed up again. It pushed massive up. The market pushed it up. So you can see it from this side here. You can see it here. You can see this line here. I believe everyone can see my listing. You can see it here. So it stopped. It from here. It's break this place. It came down. It pushed up. It came down. The same thing happened here again. It's bring down. And now when you see this is a sign, this is kind of a very good analysis. When you see stuff like this, I should say that the market is pushing up, the market is pulling up. Now over time you can see it here. It has a break, a fig breakout. Now finally it actually moved up and other. So these are all basic understanding. These are all what how we need to analyze the market to know that okay, this is what this project is really all about and all that. So now, what is this? What is the market? We've actually talked about the about what the market is actually talking about beside the token. So now, what actually determine the price of this singularities net? What actually determine the prices when looking at it on the recent? Now, there are two schools of thought that actually determine the price of singularities in it. And now the first way is by instilling value, and the second way is by the way of action. Now this type involve on-chain parameter, project fundamentals, and also financial metric, and also of singularities net collective collectively known as fundamental analysis. So the first way is actually the fundamental analysis. Now there are two ways. There are, when talking about analysis of token, I know that there are two ways that actually that you need to actually understand when talking about analysis of token. The first one is fundamental, and the second one is technical analysis. Now the first one that has to do with fundamental analysis is about the law of demand and supply. You have to understand the law of demand and supply. You have to understand the tokenomics of the token of the project. You have to understand the use case. You have to understand the roadmap of the project and all that. All these points are actually what you need to actually understand when talking about the project, what you need to know about it and all that. All this actually basic information that you need to know when talking about the project and all that. So all these are actually basic information when talking about this project. What do you need to know about it? How can you actually go about it? And so the law of demand and supply of these technologies, and also the use cases, the project movement, as well as regulation, and also governance involved will actually not affect the value of this project from a very long-term perspective and all that. So all these are actually basic points that we need to understand when talking about projects like this. What do we need to know about it? What are they really all about and all that? So now the first one to understand is supply and demand. Supply and demand is very important for you to take note of, and also tokenomics. Now when you hear the word supply and demand, what do you understand by supply and demand? What is supply and demand actually really all about? What is it really all about? Now, when you're talking about supply and demand, it's something very, very important that you need to actually take note. Now, it's all about buying. It's just as simple now, okay, I'm buying and selling. Now, to a particular period of like, okay, I want to buy. Now, when you want to buy something from the market, okay, for example, now there's a large demand in the market and you tend to sell and order. Now, when you tend to sell, you don't have much again. That means the market is the price is actually going to go up. Now, when it comes to supply and order, the market comes down. And so all these are actually basic information that we need to understand when talking about, and also tokenomics. When talking about tokenomics, what do we understand? What is the meaning of tokenomics? Now, the market, what is the market saying about the token? What is the future price of the token? What has happened so far in the market space and all that. So all this you need to understand the economies, what is the how many what has been in circulation so far, and what has been so far, what has been in circulation, what has been done so far in the market and all that. So the total supply, what is the all-time high, what is the all-time low, in which we've actually looked at it. The all-time high was around 0.9, that is the all-time high, and the all-time low was around 0.002 and all that. So and for it to actually go down that much in the market, that should tell you that understand that the market, one rule that you need to understand, that the market is very, very volatile. Now you understand that the market is very volatile, and you making a way to actually understand how to actually go about it when going talking about the market, how to understand, okay, this is the right way to go about the market, this is the right way to actually use my investment or to plan my investment when talking about the market space and other. That is why I said that. That is why up to now we can say that it's like 78% of users that are currently are currently holding this token today are actually bullish, are actually profiting from the market when looking at it. So all these points are actually very, very important that we all need to understand when talking about project like this. What are they really all about? What we need to know about it and others. So it is very, very important that we take note of all these points when talking about project like this and others. So what other points are very, very important that we need to understand? That is why I said, and also the use cases. Now, when talking about use cases, now what is the use case of this project? What is the prediction price? What has been that? Okay, what have they done? Now I do tell people that before you go to any project, always analyze the project. Always know that, okay, this project I'm actually looking at investing in. Now, does it has a use case? Is it solving a problem? Where are they getting the one that is in circulation? Where is it coming from? Who are the owners of this project? Who are the people that actually came together that brought about this project that we're actually looking at? Now, if you know all this, we actually give you an edge which actually know, okay, yes, this is actually a good way to actually invest. This is actually a good way to actually invest in this project. But if you don't know, okay, the use cases behind the project, what they've done so far, what is their future plan in the project, where do they plan to, and what other project do they plan on bringing on board? And all that. All this actually very important. You need to know when talking about fundamental analysis and also the project mode roadmap. Now, what is a project mode roadmap? Is it that, okay, yeah, we understand that, okay, it's a AI market space. Okay, the founder is an AI. What other things are they actually bringing on board? The founder is an AI. What other innovation are they actually looking? What is the roadmap of this project in from now to 5 years to come? Where do you see this project from now? Okay, now just imagine from the year 2018. No, 20, sorry, yeah, 2018 that actually came on board. That 2018 that we saw the all-time high to 2020 that was the all-time low and all that. Now, 5 years ago, what have they done so far? Now, 5 years to come, what are they going to do? All these are actually what you actually the roadmap. Do they have a roadmap? Do they have a map about that they're actually following, and as well as regulations and governments involved in that will actually affect the value in a long term. So the government now coming involved, the regulations. Now, is there regulations around around the project, and what is the regulations? Who are the people who are the governing board concerning this project that we're actually looking at? All the who are the investors, who are the key investors in putting money into this, all those things, who is the people that actually created this token that we're actually looking at? All this actually very, very important that we need to actually take note of when talking about project like this, what we need to know and all that. It's very, very important that we take note of all these points. All these points I'm actually giving out is actually very, very important. The first one I talked about is the demand and supply. Demand and supply is very important. I also talked about I also talked about tokenomics. Tokenomics is also a very important factor. I also talked about the use cases. Use cases is also a very important factor. And also I also talked about apart from that, I also talked about I talked about the use cases, I talked about the roadmap, I talked about the supply and demand, also regulations, as well as regulations, and also governance also involved to actually affect the project itself when looking at it. So if you're here to invest in this token or actually look into it, please kindly invest in it. Actually look into it to actually invest in, because you have a much gain to gain from it. When it's actually it's not actually a wrong time to actually buy this token, and it's actually a good time to actually buy this token. You just have to understand what the project is actually all about. What are they really all about? What is the tokenomics behind the project? What is the demand and supply? What is the use cases? That is when you're looking at fundamental. Now remember, I said there are actually two school of thought when looking at project like this. Um I talked about the fundamental analysis, and the second one is technical analysis. Technical analysis is also another important factor that you must consider when talking about project like this. Technical analysis is also another important factor that must be considered when looking at project like this. Now, when talking about technical analysis, what are we actually talking about? Now, that is the price of the action of price. Now, that is when you have to now do with the charts. Now, when I look at technical analysis, that is when you talk about the chart. Now, currently, what is it? What is it? Well, it's actually bullish currently. It's currently bullish. It's currently bullish. But let's check more. Let's get more analysis concerning it. Let's get more analysis concerning it. Now, okay, this 1 year was around 0. Okay, so just imagine it was up here around 0.02. Now, just imagine it was here up here at 0.02, and we had a very drastic downfall in the market space, and it came down to 0.01. And right now it has been ranging, over it. Has all this is just, I'll call it ranging. The market has been ranging so far over here. Now, are we seeing this? Have this happened before? Have this happened before? Let's check. Let's check if this has happened before. Let's check if this has actually happened before in the market space. Let's check, has it happened before? Okay, so based on what we can see here, you can see the lowest has actually, it has not, we've not actually seen stuff like this happened. Based on this analysis, so you can see it just like, you can see it's just like a hack. It's just like a hack and all that. It had a bridge, it came up here, it came down, it came up, came down. So right now it came down yet. So now the market is trying to retrace itself back. This is a 1 hour time frame. So let me change the time frame to around let me put it in a day, time frame. Let's check a day time frame. Let's check it. So now this is a day time frame. Now, okay, let's get it. Let's draw it out. Are we getting it? I believe you guys are following me and getting what I'm actually showing you guys in this section. Please and please, if you have any question whatsoever, if you need any clarification, you are free to ask. So now you can see the market here. It went from this place. This was around 0.3, 0.3, and it came down up to it's from 0.3. It came up to 0.5 and all that. So it came down again to 0.4. It came up a little bit and all that. You can see the market has actually been going well, and right now it came down again to 0.3, and it has, they didn't actually break this 0. Yeah, it actually broke this 0.3 at the enter end. Now if you look at this place here, this was the breaking point. This was the breaking point of this. It actually broke it here, 0 point this thing, and it came down to this place here. And right now it came up here, and now the lowest it has actually broken, it actually gotten to 0.1. It actually broke this one to 0.1, and right now it's actually still moving up when looking at it. So all these are actually basic. Now it's around 0.2 and other. Now it actually broke it You can see it here. It's actually broke to this place. You can see it here. So you can actually be seeing a very good. You can actually be seeing a very good push in the market space when looking at it on the real sense. So all these points are very. All these analysis are actually very very important when looking at the market space, what we need to know about it, how can we actually go about it, and others is very very important that we take note of all these points when talking about project like this. How can we actually analyze the market? All those form of analysis are really all this form of analysis are actually very very important when talking about the market space. What we need to know, how can we actually go about it, what are the basic information that we need to know about the market space, and all that is very very important that we take note of all those points when talking about the market space. And all that. I think you guys are following me. Please and please, if you have any question whatsoever, you are free to ask on the chat box so that justice can be done. If you have any question whatsoever, you can free to ask on the chat box so that justice can be done as we keep pushing forward in the course of today's conversation. If you guys are following me now, I talked about the technical analysis way. Now the primary analysis vice candlestick. So now the analysis I just showed you now is just a kind of a candlestick chart pattern, and also the technical indicators of such analysis and other. So that's when we are talking about the branding, the way it goes, and all that, the IRS and all that. That forecast the technical analysis forecast the price of this singularities net on a basic that history tends to repeat itself. Now, what happened in history tends to actually now repeat itself. Now, the history is actually got to 0.09 in history. Now, do we see that happening over a long period of time? Now, the market went to around 0.0, it actually counts with 0.002 to 0.008. Now, do we see that happening over time? The market becoming red? No, I don't actually see that happening. But right now, you can't actually, there's the market is actually funny. You can't actually predict the way the market actually goes. But all I can say right now is that a lot of people are actually in profit. A lot of people are actually in profit right now investing in this token and all that, because if you buy it around the time that even though when it was zero, even though when it counted 1 0 to another zero to actually get to 0.02, you will know that yes, I'm in profit. And also you actually see more profit if you can buy it. You can actually see like 50% profit in the market space, and you just have to understand how to analyze the market and all that. And also apart from that, as a candles chart is a general representation of the emotion of the market, the news, announcement, and also community settlement can be significant price action drive this project as well. So now what do we mean by this? Apart from the candlestick chart that has a kind of a general representation of the emotions of the market, the way the market actually moves. Now some other factors are actually involved when talking about analysis, when talking about technical analysis of this token, of this project that we're talking about. Now apart from the emotional of the market, the segmentation and other, we also have the news. What I've said, a lot of this of way to actually or community settlement can actually come involved and all that, and that community settlement it actually has a significant price accuracies may combine and create an interesting scenario for this token and also cryptocurrency market as a whole. So now talking about long term, actually look at the roadmap of the project. They want to say, okay, yes, I can actually hold it. What is it really all about and all that. So all these factors are what we need to know. What factors are actually very very important that we need to actually take note of. What the basic information that we need to know about this project, and it's very very important that we take note of all these points when talking about analysis. When talking about analysis of this token and all that, it's very very important that we take note of all these points when talking about analysis of this. About that, I actually forgot about. I just remembered. I just forgot about that. Probably tomorrow I will give it out Sorry about that. I actually forgot about the red carpet, but tomorrow unfortunately I will distribute red carpet to everyone listening to me tomorrow. Sorry about that. I actually forgot about the red carpet, but tomorrow I'm actually going to give out red carpet to everyone. It's a promise. It's a promise. Tomorrow unfortunately I'll be giving out red carpet to everyone listening to me. Thank you guys for actually connecting with me so far. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate your time. I believe you guys are learning a lot from what I'm actually dishing out to you guys. So the highest reason on this one now, what is now the highest price of this token? We've actually talked about it, and it has actually achieved this singularities singularity net has actually achieved all-time high of around 0.9 in 2018. That was actually happened in 2008 and actually currently trading in 0.2. Now, do we see it actually surpassing this all-time high? Well, I can say yes, I can say no, but actually do your own analysis to get what we're actually talking about. And also, what is the lowest? The lowest in the market space actually gotten in that is around 2013. So it's actually 2013 the lowest, and the lowest actually got into is around 0.00 yeah, sorry, not 2013, 2020. The lowest has really gone to 0.005795. That was the lowest it has actually gone to in the market space and other. So all these points are actually very, very important that we need to actually take note of when talking about this project, what we should know. Now, should you actually buy this? Very important to actually remember that this project is like any other cryptocurrency, and also and they are actually subject to extreme market volatility, market condition, legal policy, and team and project team management, and other unpredictable factor, as well as cryptocurrency fluctuating the greater, and also and the most important is the market is to manage the your risk level, and all that is very important. And also it's always advisable that actually do your own research before making any form of decision in the market. Before you're making any form of decision on project to actually buy, coin to actually buy, and all this is very, very important to actually do your own research to actually see if it's actually a good form of investment to actually invest in a good time in this time. And also all those points are actually very are actually something that are very important that we need to take note of when talking about the market space, what we need to know, how can we actually go about it, and all that. So I don't know if you have any question whatsoever. Please, if you have any question whatsoever so far on what we've talked about, you're free to ask on the chat box so that justice can be done before we come to an end of today's conversation. I believe you guys are gaining a lot from what I'm dishing out to you guys talking about this project. And also, what let's get more analysis about what we're talking about now. Okay, let's talk about the news. Okay, there's a news ongoing in the market space, so let's check the news out. What is the news saying concerning this token? And do we have any announcement? Okay, now announcement. You can see some announcement. Guess okay, yeah, Gateway Gators IO has added the singularities perpetual contracts. Now the guy has actually added perpetual contract that is USDT marginal and are supporting up to 20 times leverage and other. So this is just for people that actually understand fundamental technical analysis, and also maybe futures and all that can actually look into this and all that. Also, Gate.io starts free offering, and also this thing, and also announced free distribution rule, and also they actually gave a kind of a free distribution. Actually this was when this was okay, this was around first of this year, this was when this one happened, first of this year and other. So all this analysis are actually what we need to are actually very important. We're talking about a project like this, what we need to know about it, what are the basic, what are they saying in the market. All this analysis of what they're actually talking about is very important that we need to take note of when talking about the market space and all that. It is very important that we take note of all these points when talking about the market space. Now you can see it. I just added perpetual this one was around second. I think this was Just recently, I don't think this was recently, but it's this year that they actually added this and all that. And also, so now all this were actually, like I said, all this were actually very, very important when looking at it on the recent. So this we can see the singularities and axis net leads the urge to token and also to token in token and also related artificial intelligence. Now, the blockchain AI project utility token has actually urged 18% in as 18% in the last 24 hours after Microsoft planned announced plan to invest in open AI and others. So you just imagine now because it's an AI project and all that, but it's actually built on a blockchain and other. So now the AI artificial intelligence focused token is actually using token that have risen greatly and others. So that means now looking at and the fact that it has to do with AI. Now you have to understand that AI is a project that is actually is just it has been on board for a while now, but now because it's an AI token, a lot of people are now are actually this token is what I can actually look into to actually invest in. This is what this token is important factor. What form of investment can you go about it? How can you in the real sense? And so the one other point you need to understand is the project the token itself or the important project that we need to understand or how it actually go about. Now the blockchain AI project led it was actually led Wednesday AI and also it beat in the past 24 hours and over 80% of the over in the past 7 days according to data from the coin market cap and all that. Now the axis price pump started around Tuesday. That was a very maybe not just Tuesday, I think few months ago and all that. Now, following the news of the startup behind the popular artificial intelligence to chat GTPT, and the token price climbed to 10% high on Wednesday before setting back to 8% as 50 528% in the last 24 hours. And the market cap data show across multiple blockchain such as Cardano and also Ethereum. So that is actually to pass across a message. It's actually a good period to actually look into when looking at how to actually go about it. Related token have been on rise lately as well. The Graph Native token, we have the Graph Native token has risen 15%. As also like we have the Fetch Native token as also has urged over 60% over the same period. And so all these are actually information that are very, very important when talking about analysis about tokens like this. What are they really all about? What we need to know about it? How can we actually go about it? It's very, very important that we take note of all this point very important when talking about analysis behind this token. And so if you ask me if it's actually a good form of investment to actually go into right now, I will still be my answer is capital yes. It's actually a good investment that you can actually look into to actually invest and decentralized AI market space that runs on blockchain and also is ensure a fair distribution of power, value, and technology for all the leading decentralized market space. But we do not focus there. Our core mission is to develop artificial general intelligence for betterment of humanity and also join our community to build more compassionate trust and also sustainable world through this AI. And also this is just a sign that oh yes, this is actually a good project to actually look into. Now just as a join our community to build more compassionate, just and sustainable world through the open intelligent development. Now, being the forefront of shaping the future of AI with this token and others. So all these are actually important. All is actually important that we need to take note of. We need to understand when talking about projects like this, how to actually go about it. What are they really all about? What are the projects? What do they have to offer in the market space? It's very very important that we understand all these factors when talking about projects like this. So that is all we'll be talking about in today's conversation. I believe you guys have gained a lot from what I've actually shared with you guys. So tomorrow tomorrow we'll be up again for another interesting conversation. Sorry, I was not able to distribute the red carpet today, but tomorrow, unfailingly, I'll be distributing it to everyone actually that joined me live. I'll actually distributing to everyone that actually joined me live. So thank you so much for actually connecting with us in today's conversation. I believe you guys actually gained a lot from what I've actually shared with you guys. So thanks to everyone that's connected live in today's conversation. So join me same time tomorrow for another interesting conversation. We'll talk about more analysis about this project. Remember, these are AI projects. So if you're actually looking at ways to actually invest in this, is actually a very good project to actually look into to actually invest in. And you can actually trade on it on Gatos. You can actually buy a portion of this token on Gatos, talking about do your own personal research about what this place is actually all about and invest in it because it's actually a good form of investment when looking at it. So that is all small and have a blessed day. Have a wonderful day ahead of you. See you tomorrow for another interesting conversation. Stay blessed, guys.